Well, hey there folks, and welcome back once again to the Hop House. It's Eddie here, and we're going to do another beer review. We're going to do another versus beer review, a little beer battle. I've done a couple of these on the channel now. Just get the housekeeping out of the way. If you have just found us here on YouTube, welcome along to the Hop House. Good to see you. Give us one of them. Give us a thumbs up, like, share and subscribe to this channel. Hop House, hoppy beer, good house music. We're on the beer side, and what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to do a versus beer battle. Really, I'm trying to figure out whether certain beers are actually the same beer. So let me explain. I'll let you know what we're going to review, what we're going to look at, and then we'll just crack on with it as we have done other beer reviews. Okay, so we did the Abbott Ale versus Abbott Reserve. I've also did the crikey, what's the name of it now? The Brewdog versus Cloudwater up against the Tesco Cloudwater that's brewed at Brewdog. If that makes any sense to you. So what we're doing now is, it started off with a beer that I have reviewed on the channel. They're all down here, so they're all in the background. So and I've got glasses, I've got glassware to match. Well, partly glassware to match. So looking back to earlier on Christmas time, I think it was over Christmas period, we reviewed this bad boy, the Shipyard American IPA. It's apparently one of the original craft beers to come over here. It's contract brewed by Marston's at Burton-on-Trent, or I believe it could be in Wolverhampton at the old Banks's Brewery. Oh, it's been nice and cold. I put my beers in the freezer for about half an hour, 40 minutes. It's my new thing. Gets them really cold. So that's Shipyard IPA, 5% ABV in a 500ml bottle. It's available at all supermarkets, part of your £4 for £6 range. It works out about £1.50 a bottle. Cool, like it, love it. I've got a Shipyard glass to match as well. And then I was in my Lidl when the craft beer festival was on back in May, and I noticed that they've had a rebrand of their Hatherwood beer ranges. So they used to do a cracking beer called the Green Gecko number 2. They named them all. They had all numbers, number 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and so on. And number 2 was a Green Gecko IPA at 5%. But they've changed that. They've got rid of the number 1, number 2 and got rid of the names. So now it's this Hatherwood IPA. Looks very similar to another beer. So looks like Lidl have gone down the route of Aldi of let's just blatantly rip off or copy other people. However, it's brewed by Marston's Brewery. And look, it's 5%, if the camera will zoom in on it, it's 5% ABV in a 500ml bottle, bursting with American hops. Ooh. This is £1.19, I believe. £1.9, £1.19, something along those lines, in Lidl. So it's a little bit cheaper. But it looks identical in the bottle, doesn't it? And then in my little Sainsbury's by work, I've seen this, and so I picked up a bottle. I don't tend to go to Sainsbury's a lot shopping. I'm an Aldi shopper and I'm a Morrison's shopper. But in Sainsbury's there's this. It's part of their Taste the Difference range, and it's an American style IPA. Kind of funky little label on it. Not quite sure whether there's a Viking there. Is it a Viking? Looks like a Viking. Don't know what that's got to do with America. I suppose he's got that star thing on his sleeve. But it's 5% ABV in a 500ml bottle, and it's brewed by Marston's. So I thought, why not put them up against each other, and let's in fact see if these three beers are the same. You with me? So I'm getting it out into the glass. So first of all, the Shipyard, I've got the lovely Shipyard glass for the Shipyard beer. For the American IPA, I've got Hobgoblin glass, and for the Hatherwood, I've got the Purity glass. We've used this loads of times for loads of reviews because I love the artwork on it, but it doesn't hold head well. So if the head doesn't hold well in this glass, don't hold it against the beer. It's probably the glass. It's not like I've put the cheapest beer into the shittest glass to make it look bad. I'm not all about that. I love a bargain. I like Lidl. I like Aldi. And so on and so forth. But we're just going to compare them. Go compare! No copyright intended. Right. Okay, let's go. Let's get them out into the glass. Shipyard, the original Shipyard from Maine, Portland, Maine. opened it up, bit of CO2 release, bit of smoke, whatever you want to call it, out of the bottle, and then someone just messaging me on my phone, not quite sure what all that's about. Right, so beer in the glass, we've had this before. It's a bit cloudy and hissy and fizzy, but there you go. It's a dark golden, almost amber colour, white head on it. It's got some good carbonation going up the glass. Just jig it around a bit so you can get the head a little bit thicker. Maybe not, that might be because it's been in the freezer. So it's really cold. It is a see-through beer, it's just that is cold haze on the glass. So there you go, that's the Shipyard, that's the original Shipyard. Right, we're going next for the Sainsbury's Taste the Difference in the hobgoblin glass. I could not use the purity glass. I've got a John Smith's glass up there, but I don't know if I needed a John Smith's glass. It's just wrong in it. I'm only joking. I should review John Smith's, that'll be a laugh. So, this one then, into the glass she goes. And surprisingly, it looks very similar. Very similar indeed. A bit of a thicker white head on it. Again, carbonation going up, golden to amber in colour, white head, hissy and fizzy at first, but it's slowing down quite nicely. Looks alright, that does. Again, the haze is a chill haze because this bottle has been in the freezer for 40 minutes. So it looks good in the hobgoblin glass. Right then, the baby of the bunch, or the cheapest one of the bunch, Hatherwood IPA, previously known as the Green Gecko IPA, brewed by Marston's, for Lidl, £1.10, £1.19 I think it is a bottle, £1.9, £1.19, something like that. They're the usual prices for bottled beers at Aldi and Lidl. And what do you know? Look at that. Well, it looks a bit lighter and thinner, unless it is the glass. But it's similar in colour. Golden to amber, little white head on it. I can't hold all these up at the same time, so this is the Sainsbury's one against the Lidl. That does look thicker, that looks more carbonated and fizzier. But I've just washed this glass out because I used it before, so I don't know again if that's a problem. Ignore the haze on the glass, by the way. These are clear and see-through beers. It's just a chilled haze. Hold it up against the original Shipyard. That looks lighter than that. What do you think? Could be the light, could be the haze. Hold on. Stand by. The head's disappearing on that one, but I do think it's the glass. Look at this, I'm wiping down glasses. I'm so professional. So professional. What do you think? What do you think? And then we'll do these two together because I've done the Hatherwood up against the other one. Oh, I'll give this glass a wipe down as well. Yay! No difference between them two, really. No difference at all. Interesting. Now, Marston's, of course, is a massive company, big brewery and all this, that and the other. I know that the Hobgoblin Gold, of course, one of my favourite staple sort of standard beers that I buy. Hobgoblin Gold in a can and also on cask is 4.2%. I believe it to be brewed at Banks's Brewery in Wolverhampton rather than Wychwood in Oxfordshire. If I'm wrong about any of this, then I'm wrong. I'm not a brewer, I don't work in the industry. This is just what I've heard, rumourville. But also at Banks's Brewery they do a Banks beer called Sunbeam, which is a 4.2% zesty, citrusy pale ale, which tastes remarkably a lot like Hobgoblin Gold. So Marston's, I guess they can do this. I guess they're in the position where they can, and they can say they're brewing things for a certain brewer, stick a different label on it, but it's actually the same beer. Or is it? Right, we'll get the noses in there, so we're going to give them a whiff, see what we can sniff. Starting off with the original Shipyard American IPA. Smells a bit sweet, a bit herbally, a bit hoppy. A little bit of that butterscotch smell in there, which I tend to get on Marston's from the malt. But I can smell citrus notes, a bit of dankness. It's not overwhelmingly like fruit bomby, but then these These are more a West Coast style beer, so you don't expect them to be. You expect bitterness and citrus to come through. Smells exactly the same as that, not gonna lie. Yeah, a little bit of maltiness, bit of butterscotch maltiness, and some bit of citrus, bit of dankness. Smells lovely. Right, finally the Hatherwood that looks like it's gone really flat. Don't die on me. Smells a bit similar but a bit more subdued. Oh no, it's there. It's there. I had to really whiff to get it. Yeah, it's identical. Again, some sweet malt through the middle, bit grapefruity citrus, and a bit of dankness, like piney. That was almost mosaic-y. So there we go. They smell absolutely identical, totally the same. They look very similar. Again, don't let the Hatherwood put you off with the lack of head. I think it's the glass. Should we get in there? Should we get in there and taste the difference, as Sainsbury's like to say? So bottoms up down the hatch. All right, original Shipyard. First of all, it's very chilled, it's very cold. So bottoms up down the hatch. Oh, that's remarkable. Now, some people say probably had them too cold in the freezer. They've been in the freezer, like say, about half an hour, 40 minutes. So they're not frozen, but they're cold. They're to a point where they're cold and chilled and nice and cold. For me, I think IPAs, especially American hopped IPAs, should be like that. I really do think they should be. The reason being is it allows the hops to shine. Now, if they're a bit warmer, the malt comes out more. And you know me, I'm not really a malt fan, especially if it's salty malty, and I just don't like that style of beer at all. So yes, it'll give it a different flavour profile, but with American hop beers, IPAs, hoppy, citrusy, you want the malt to calm down. It's got the malt and the yeast together got to bring the alcohol content, but you want it to just be in the background and let the hops shine, especially if it's West Coast. Let the bitterness shine through, as it does in this. So I'm not ashamed to say that's lovely and cold. Right, bit of lacer vision for the lacing fans. Hang on, I'll try and wipe down the glass a bit so it's not as chilled, hazy. Look at that. Look at that. Look at the lacing. Look how it chases the head. Good. Sticks to the side of the glass. Good, cracking, very nice beer. Probably one of my favourite things at Marston's brew, actually. I quite like a few Marston's beers. Right. Sensational. Yes, malt through the middle, citrus down the side of the tongue. Zingy, zesty, grapefruit, lemon and lime, but more sharp and zingy than sweet and fruit bomby. There's a dankness, there's a bit of pine needle there as well, and then in the aftertaste it just sort of lingers at the back end. Very, very nice. Right. Numero dos. This is the Sainsbury's Taste the Difference, and I hope I am going to, American IPA. So bottoms up down the hatch. This tastes more piney, actually. Very, very, very similar. Pick up a bit more pine, dank pine needle in there. And it's really running down the side of the tongue, and it's still there now. Now, whether or not that's a mixture of that aftertaste mixed in with that, I don't know. Quite possibly. But all I know right now is there's a party in my mouth, and you're not invited. Right, let's go with the Hatherwood. The cheapest of the bunch. Is it really Lidl's version of Shipyard IPA? It's certainly a damn good go on the label. Bottoms up down the hatch. It's more bitter. There's more pungent bitterness in that. Less of the pine needle. with that. Very, very grapefruit citrusy, sharp citrus, pithiness, pithy, grapefruit peel, maybe some orangey peel, something like that. Really pithy. It's almost like someone's peeled an orange and given me this stuff and put it in my mouth and I'm just going, oh. Well, probably more grapefruit than an orange. Definitely pungently more bitter, and it's really hanging around at the back end. But flavour wise, not as good. It's not bad, it's not terrible, but has it been made more cheaply? You can sort of tell. I'm trying to jig it to get the head going. There we go. I'm trying to do it without spilling the beer all over the floor. Oh, little drops. I saved it, don't worry. Don't have to mop. Yeah, the head's kind of gone. I do think it's this glass, but also it has been refrigerated. Whoa. That is quite bitter. That is really quite bitter. There we go. Got the head going now. So we'll do a bit of laser vision on this. Sorry I didn't do it on the hobgoblin glass, did I? Come on, Ed, what are you doing? Wipe it down, wipe it down. Wipe it down. There you go. Look at that. Bit of laser vision. Still sticking to the side of the glass alright. It's not too bad. Rejig it a bit more. There we go. Look at that, eh? £1.09 or £1.10, £1.20, whatever. It's not a bad effort. The hobgoblin glass with the taste the difference in it. Have a look at that jigging around in the glass. Jig, 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 jig. Bit of laser vision on that. Oh yeah, looks just like the Shipyard. Almost identical. Ooh. Are they the same beer? That's the question. They're very carbonated. Excuse me, that was disgusting. I apologise. Right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have a quick taste of all three again. Then I'm going to give you my verdicts. Whether I like them, whether I'll buy them again. Do I think they're the same beer, and which one do I think is the best? Right, let's crack on. So, the original Shipyard, had it many a time, bought it loads, got some for free as well. Cheers Shipyard, cheers Marstons, cheers everybody, bottoms up down the hatch. It's got a medium mouthfeel. It's strange drinking beers like this because I'm used to now hazy beers with oats in. Although originally New England IPA, well, New England IPA is yeah, to be hazy but to be dry hopped, isn't it? But a lot of canned craft beer now has haze in, it has sediment in, it's hazy, it's cloudy, it's got oats in it, and it gives you that sort of sticks to your mouth feel, whereas this isn't. It's old school. So it's only really ever going to have like a medium body to it, but it's really nice. It's lovely and cold. It's lovely and refreshing. Citrus, pine needle, dankness, bit of sweetness down the middle, and now I'm getting aftertaste of grapefruit, West Coast style all the way. So for the Shipyard, I've said it before, I'll say it again, 2 thumbs up from me. It's a lovely beer. Right, Sainsbury's, taste the difference. Tastes a little bit sweeter. There's definitely more pine. Did I say there's more pine needle in that? Yeah, I'm getting more pine needle in that. It's piney. It's really quite piney. So it wouldn't surprise me if Mosaic hop was in there. Wouldn't surprise me if it was one of the hops used. And finally, the baby of the bunch, the little cheapo in the cheap seats. It is the Hatherwood. Come on, Hatherwood. Come on, head. There you go. That's better. Now it's swirling around like a good un. Ooh. Now I've jigged it about a bit. That's smelling quite hedgerowy, smelling quite traditional hoppy. That grassy, hedgerowy smell, rather than citrusy. And it is no pineapple in it. That is citrus bitterness, citrus grapefruit bitterness, and it really lingers on the back end. But it doesn't seem to. It's not bad. It just doesn't seem to taste as natural as the other two. The Sainsbury's Taste the Difference IPA, by the way, 2 thumbs up from me. The Hatherwood IPA. Gets a thumbs up. So you get 2 thumbs up. I don't tend to go to Lidl that often now. I've gone more Aldi than Lidl. However, if I am in Lidl, unless there's a craft beer festival on, yes, I'd probably pick that up. So I'm going to give it a thumb and a half. Give it a thumb and a half. It's still a good score. A thumbs up is a good score. Right, let's quickly. I've read the back of the Shipyard before. Citrus fruit with grapefruit prominent. I'm trying to see if any of these beers actually say what hops are in it. He was having a wobble. Right, so this is the Taste the Difference IPA. I'm 21 minutes in. Christ, I'll hurry up. It says American style IPA, aromatic and tropical, combining citrus with soft pine notes. Full-bodied and heartily hoppy IPA. Pale, Munich and Vienna malts combined with hefty hopping in this bold brash of Americana. Freshly fruity, a distinct yet well-originated bitterness melts with a rich malt backbone. This IPA is obviously lavished with a cocktail of citrusy American hop varieties such as Cascade and Citra, adding amazing aromatics and a fiesta of flavours. So it says such as Cascade and Citra. It doesn't say it has Cascade and Citra in it. And finally, the Hatherwood IPA. I expect this to have the least amount of information possible. Yes, it does. It's a very bland label on the back. So Hatherwood IPA, bursting with American hops. Bursting, even though it smells like hedgerow traditional hops. This IPA is a tropical thunderstorm of big flavour American hops with a distinctive lemon and grapefruit finish. Definitely got the lemon. Yes, I said it was more citrusy. This unblinking classic is underpinned by subtle malt taste, allowing the bold exploration of frontier flavours. Contains barley and wheat, stored cool and dry. You've got to admit though, fair play to Lidl. They've got the balls on them, haven't they? You know. Bearing in mind it's the same company, very similar bottles. I actually prefer the Green Gecko bottling, I have to say. Do I think that the Hatherwood's changed? I don't know. It's been probably about 2.5 years since I last had it. I used to get it quite a lot when it first came out, when West Coasts were a thing. Canned craft beer wasn't really around then. New England IPAs didn't exist. The world was a brighter place before COVID. Who knows? That comes third place, I have to say. Oh, between those two. Stand by. I've drank more of this than this. Don't know why. Shipyard IPA. Sweet, malty, citrusy, bit of pine needle, bit of dankness on the aftertaste. Sweet, malty, more piney, definitely more piney. But yes, again, a bit of grapefruit, citrus. I don't think they're exactly the same beer. I thought they would be. Who knows? They could be. Marston's could have thrown the wool over my eyes and my taste buds are failing me. I think I'm going to have to bow down to a supermarket and say, Sainsbury's, you've made me taste the difference. I like that one the best. I like the Taste the Difference American IPA. £1.70 that is in Sainsbury's. Used to be £1.50, it's gone up. That is £1.60 in Sainsbury's. So that's 10p less than their own brand. Weird. But it's 4 for £6, so it's £1.50 everywhere else. And the Hatherwood comes in last place. Someone's got to lose. But bold effort. £1.09/£1.19 a bottle, one or the other. Thank you very much for watching. I've waffled on and taken up far too much of your time. So like, share and subscribe. We'll see you again for another beer review right here on the Hop House. Ciao for now, people.